Oh, sorry.
Okay. All right, so with that, we're connected with the live stream. So welcome to Emma, welcome to the council members and staff today, and I think we've got somebody from the public there as well. Welcome. So apologies, we had Councillor Neal, Councillor Phelps and Francois Tumahui. Is everybody covered? Yes, it is. Can I have a move and a second, please, to resolve that the apology from those councillors we received and accepted, please? Councillor Burton, Councillor Gillett, all in favour? Thank you very much. Declarations of interest, there were no changes to the interest register noted, but please do update that as deemed necessary. Right into number 3, staff reports, a further amendment to the draft annual plan for 24-2025. Removal of a number of vacant positions, and we are handing over to Emma to speak to us for that item, please. Welcome, Emma.
Good afternoon, Mayor and elected members. I would like to take the report as read and ask through the Mayor if there are any questions.
Does everybody understand what's been done and how it's come about? So it's Lucy or Lily, do you want to explain exactly how we've got to that? So everybody's just crystal clear rather than...
Yeah, so as council had an appetite to reduce the rating further, we looked at vacant positions that were in the budget, positions that we've not been able to fill for some time, and decided that potentially, as we've not been able to fill them, it might be the right thing to just remove those positions, certainly for the foreseeable future. So that has actually had a saving of around 200,000, which is just under 1% of the rate.
And then as far as the rates, new figures and everything, we'll be talking about that at the next.
Yeah, so we've got the meeting on Monday to adopt the plan, and we will have the final rates figure at that point in time.
This is purely getting the acceptance that is edited to the original budget as such.
Yeah, I'm getting told off for sitting down. Yeah, so there have been a few edits that we've made. We've made a few more since the vacant positions, and we've just saved approximately 0.2%. We've been tweaking it all along to try and get it down as low as we can.
No, and thank you ladies for doing that, because I know you've been going over everything, and I know staff have been asked to go back again and have a look at things as well, so we're very grateful for that. Has anybody got any questions for Leslie or Lynn on that statement? Councillor Lee.
Through your worship, so what exactly are these positions, and how many, what are they, and what's the impact on level of service?
I think there were 3 positions. I think for, I'm not entirely sure which area they were in, because it was Simon Bastian who determined which ones could come out.
Right. Okay, well, if I can help, I can say that 2 of them are in the district assets function. One of them is a very long-standing vacancy, and another one was a post that has identified for being put in, that we've actually decided to.
Oh.
Through your worship, so $200,000 saving is good. Am I wrong that that's now almost cancelled out by the addition of the new customer services management position?
No, that customer manager's position was already part and parcel.
So budgeted already?
Yes, it was a position where the previous one left, and then it was a staff progressed into that position.
Yes, so those positions have all been there. So they're not new. There's nothing new in there. They're part of the budget and they always have been.
Well, it is a new position.
No. It's one that's become vacant that has now been filled.
No.
Whereas these ones have been taken out of being long-standing vacant positions.
We have tried to fill them several times, but we haven't been able to fill them. So they've been in for a significant amount of time, but they're not new.
Through the chair, I think that Austin Madrick might mean the community.
Community services,
I
not,
am talking about community.
not customer
Right,
service.
you said customer service, sorry.
Whatever you want to call it, the new management position that split the council and took about 3 meetings before we agreed on that position going forward. And so, and that, my calculation, would just about cancel out the savings we're making from the $200,000 or so.
Well, that was budgeted. We put that was already in the budget. When we talked about the CCO review and PwC said you would need to look at your own management structure, that was budgeted at that time.
How could it be budgeted when we had such a torrid time with the previous CEO?
It was
Whole position.
because it was already in the budget. We were having those discussions on how that position would have been potentially made up, or what formed it, or what was involved with the.
Well, it was an entirely new position. I'm befuddled by this.
Well, look,
It wasn't explained to us very
it
clearly.
wasn't an entirely new position in that when I was on council previously, that position was in place.
That was a long time ago, with respect. This was an
Through the
entirely
chair,
new position.
the community services area was given to TC to actually manage as part of regulatory planning, but it was only on a short-term basis. It was never meant to be a permanent fixture. So there was always going to be the conversation around having a community services manager as well. So it was budgeted.
And we've got to make sure that this is about the saving that's here with these positions and what this impact is going to have for the rates. That, your point, is another discussion that needs to happen when we're talking about that in a future meeting. So, Councillor Gillette.
Yes, through your worship, I think, that it was a bit of a fiasco. But my understanding, it was offered and why I supported proceeding with the role was that there were other savings, so the net cost was going to be a lot lower than the amount budgeted.
So that's
My understanding, that's why I tended to support it.
That wasn't presented to us, though.
No, it had to be extracted.
Yes. But for now, we're talking about this saving and the impact that is going to have on the rate strike. And we need to do this before we can go to the next meeting where we sign off on the annual plan. So I'm after somebody to move in second place that the report be received and that council resolve to remove a number of vacant positions from the budget for the draft annual plan for 2024-2025. If there's no further questions for Leslie.
If I can, just following the question from the council, the positions that have been put on, and they've been difficult to fill, that's what I understand. Are they likely to come back in another form next year? In which case we could find ourselves in the same position as what we did this year with the deferred depreciation.
I don't think there is not an expectation to bring these prices back.
Right, so if I can have a move and a second, please. Councillor Kesson, Councillor Burden. All in favour? Against? Carried. Thank you very much, everybody. So with that, it's a very short and sweet meeting.
Thank you, Your Worship. So whilst we're talking about just that one, the other savings, potential savings, are they going to be presented on Monday?
Yes.
So I committee and ask.
It's just asking if the other savings, which is the transportation and so forth, that'll be presented at Monday where we actually sign off on the annual plan.
Yeah, we'll have the final document on Monday.
So forth, I hope you mean the museum budget.
No, that's in discussion at the council meeting. And
But it won't impact the rates
no.
until it's completed. So it doesn't matter whether it's in or it's not.
Yes, I understand that much. But I thought that this was the opportunity to whittle down that spending on the museum rather than go through the long-term planning process.
We had decided to bring that to the next council meeting. We would be having their museum project presented to us and looking at the cuts, and council's desire to have that open by this next season. That's what is on the agenda for the end of June.
So am I hearing then that there's no other opportunity to cut?
Well, yes, the direction will be given at the council meeting, but what Leslie's saying is that will not impact the rates because that money has not been drawn down on anyway. It's not operational, it's capital.
I understand it's capital. I do understand that.
Yeah. So no matter what we do, we can't impact that side of it at this point.
However, there is a clear expectation that the museum budget will be recast at the council meeting.
Yes.
Chair, that would be, you ask for a report for the next council meeting, which you're saying. We can't possibly amend an annual plan on the 27th of June when there's a public holiday on the 28th and the 1st of July is the Monday. It has to be adopted before the 30th of June. So we can't possibly make any changes, but it's irrelevant because it's the only effect on the rates is any operational costs for getting the thing open.
So that's what we've got to nut out and shape at the council meeting at the end of the month to take that forward.
Yeah. So whilst I appreciate that the finance team had gone through the budgets and identified the savings in those three positions, what opportunities the council have to go through line by line as other councils have done? Or for instance, they went through, they looked at the overall increase was 21%, maybe or more. They went through line by councils, I'm talking about, went back over the budgets line by line.
That is what staff have been doing for some time.
As the council had the opportunity to go through line by line and to put it down. And all we got from 21% to 14%. Grey has a no-frills budget, as they call it, 14%, and ours is kind of business as usual.
Well, that comes down to Three Waters too, and how the other councils have managed that as well.
We all understand about the Three Waters, but beside that, it was like, that's the starting point. This is the budget to keep the ship running, and on top of that is the Three Waters funding that was the depreciation that was taken out last year.
Leslie, what would if we took the Three Waters component of these rates out, we would be sitting roughly at, I know we've discussed this before, we'd be sitting roughly at what, as just a straight out rates?
2 point something percent.
Yes. And that's what we would have been going to the market with, which is outstanding.
Yes, but
So if you're wanting us to cut back from that 2.7% to I don't know what, we will be cutting core services. We have gone through as council in several workshops and looked at the budget and looked at the funds and looked at the expenditure, projects and everything else, and we have cut.
and we already have the transfer.
That is a lot lower than the CPR rate.
Yes, it is.
With respect to your worship, I haven't cut enough. The councils in the past have gone back and didn't find themselves in that position. They've gone back and they do it again.
Well, with due respect, at 2%,
There's not a hell of a lot of fat left in the system to cut without actually having a serious impact on what we're going to deliver to our communities.
Well, that's a judgment call. We don't know that until we look at the budget.
Right.
Steve was here.
Steve, Councillor Hill.
I was just going to make a comment. You just can't. The only way to cut the rates further would be to reduce the amount of depreciation we're going to get later. We've got no choice. We have to start it back. And that instantly adds $3 million plus. It's just a cost we have to suck up. And we did have the opportunity line by line because we went through operational and asset expenses as part of workshops. So we did have a pretty good idea. I don't think there's any opportunity. It's just the fact of Three Waters just having to put depreciation in the equation. The only way that you could get down to 14% is you'd have to have a rates rise of negative something like 7% or so, in my mind. So you're cutting services.
That's, with respect to Your Worship, that's on the assumption that the budget stay the same.
I'm not too sure what you're wanting to achieve from this group because that's part of the workshops, and I don't know whether you were at those workshops when we worked through all those budgets and those figures line by line. And that's something that is done each time with that, and that is the time that we spend going through everything, asking questions and challenging that. And we are a little bit ahead of the other councillors as far as sitting down and doing that. They've got a lot of work to do to get things signed off by the end of the month. We've got time now to have this today, make this amendment, and then sign off next week. But there is no fat left in the system to cut unless there's nothing else we can do. And that, if we didn't have the depreciation, is an exceptionally good rate. What we've got to do is make sure that next year we have things in a good position. This is the year of pain, and next year should be the year of relief. As was last year when people paid less for their rates than what they had previously.
Yeah, a lot of rates actually reduced last year.
Yes, yes.
A lot of rates.
Yeah. Yeah. So if there's no further discussion on that, I'll declare the meeting closed at 2:17. Thank you, everybody.